Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am flying in the door as we speak. Well, not quite, but I mean, I just got here about 20 minutes ago and had to set up real fast and get ready to do this thing because the traffic is hell. But we made it home. Um, we're still dealing with wildfires in our area, and I'm still trying to get my D Live cranked up. Uh, Okay, we're starting the bidding on Pete's hat. Preacher says so. We'll go ahead and get that going here in just a minute. We'll crank that up. Blue Lou, Gary Holland, DM. Good to see y'all. I Bleed American, Margot, Don Trump, Blue Lou. Welcome, welcome. Michael Lowe, Carmageddon. Welcome. Dangerous Freedom. What's happening? Don Trump again. He's in multiple. Jeff B. What's happening? Gary Holland. Righty then. Just got to wait on Mr. Pete there to tinkle, and he'll jump right in here. And why is my D Live not cranking up? That is frustrating, but it's a technical babble. But yeah, still nothing. Isn't this interesting? Um, I saw a bunch of folks that evacuated. Yeah, there was. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying. My D Live should be cranked up. It shows that it's hot. So don't know. It should be cranked up. See what happens when I have to come flying in the door and get set up real quick. Here's my confession. I had an extremely important mission that I had to do today. Um, Nothing on D Live. That is frustrating. Anyway, I had to make a mad dash for some maple covered donuts, and I remembered that our interstate was closed, so everybody was going through town, so we had to do that. It was a mission impossible, but we managed to get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete the Patriot, before we go much further, I just wanted to say that I want you guys to know how much I love you. I have gotten all the way home with my maple covered donuts, and I have not eaten one yet because I figured I'd do my show. I'd take care of you folks first, then I'll take care of my maple donuts. That's love. That really is. So,
yeah, I got to agree with that.
Yes.
Now,
so yum.
What are we ranting about?
Oh man, boy, do I have a list. Where do you want to start? I'm gonna just throw something up in the air, and I guarantee you, I got something to say about it. Go ahead, throw it.
I'm telling you, I am getting sick and tired, and I said this on my show about these rich people. I'm totally sideways with the communists and the socialists about the rich people, the billionaires and the millionaires. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy you're a billionaire. This is the United States. Capitalism rules. But these people who have education and got lucky and became a billionaire, I'm tired of them telling me what to do just because they got money. I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of it.
I agree. Money does not buy intelligence, and ignorance is bliss. But most of the people that have the money are dealing with industries that they are not educated in, and because they have the money, because they can invest in those companies, they feel like they can dictate to the fledglings what they need to do in life. And
what gives you that right?
I guess the biggest thing with me is that so many people allow it. So many people look up to the wealthy and the people that get seen on TV. 12B, how you doing? Darlene McGee, good to see you. Conservative Patriot, welcome. The people have to be able to turn that off. The praising of somebody because they're on the TV. I have worked in television. It's not that glamorous. It's actually it's pretty boring, and it's just fairly generic. Just because somebody's on a TV screen doesn't give them any status, and definitely no stature. They
No.
are no different than you and me.
And you know
Some of
what?
them are assholes, but
Here's the
that's a
thing.
different subject.
Here's the thing. You're an actor. I enjoy watching you. Right? Your job is to entertain me. Okay? Your biggest thing that you do in life is memorize stuff. And when you
Right.
memorize stuff, you put your own twist on it, and that twist goes into a series of things, gets put on a screen, and it entertains me. Now,
Right.
what makes you think because you can read in a sequence and get paid I'm going to say ass ton, between an ass ton and a shitload of money for that, makes you an authority on anything else?
Right. Well, it's fascinating, but again,
It is
it goes
fascinating.
back to the people that allow it to happen. They, if somebody is praised by a bunch of people, they tend to get big headed or they become a different person. And one of the things that we do these shows on YouTube, and I guess somehow some people think that puts us at a different level, that we are not approachable or whatever. Uh,
And who?
I'm just me. Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just there's there's some kind of assumed status that is given to people that have these YouTube channels and stuff, just like in television or whatever. But it's like, oh my God, you're famous. No, I'm not. I'm just me.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm just me.
I am totally approachable. I have. I've told you before. I met Joe Scarborough for a minute, and he's a capital prick with a lowercase p.
Yeah,
But
didn't he kill one of his
that dude,
interns?
yeah, one of his staff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's getting ready to be reopened again. So we can hope that there gets some closure on that, and that he gets his comeuppance
I hope
because
so.
he is an ass. He's one that puts himself above others, and he was actually a representative for our area down here in Pensacola at the time, and he was doing one of these interviews at the TV station that I worked at, and I was a floor manager there, so I coordinated all the talent. I made sure that
Yeah,
cameras were in the right place on the floor, and the director dealt directly with me, and I passed messages on and stuff like that. But here I am talking to the manager of the station out in the hallway, getting ready for this show, making sure I got everything in order. And I had a leash tied to me from, it hooks up to one of the cameras and it gives me a headset and a microphone so I can communicate with everybody. So I had this leash on. I'm standing outside the door, and the leash is obviously going into the studio. And he comes diddly bopping down the hallway. And instead of going around us, he starts to go towards my back where I've got the leash coming through. And he stops and he looks at this leash and looks at me and he goes, "Move." And I dropped an F bomb on him and told him exactly where to go do that to himself. Great Informer dropped the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Nothing but love. What you got here? Patriots, we will win this fight. Stay strong. We will not bow to the globalist elite. We have one person the left it does not have, and that is DM the mod. You damn straight.
mm-hmm.
There we go. So that means we are definitely going to win because DM the mod is taking care of it.
That's right.
Anyway, so here's another subject. Getting off of the moron. I mean, what did I call him? I can't remember.
It wasn't
The other
nice.
thing, I guess, real quick. Yeah, I've met David Lee Roth too. We were setting up his stage, doing our sound checks because it was going to be broadcast for a special event. So we were setting up our cameras, running cables, doing all this. That piece of crap comes and lays out one of these Chase lounge chairs right in the middle of the stage and puts one of these silver things up around his neck, like he's going to suntan. And we're sitting there pulling cables across the stage and putting them under trap doors and stuff so that there's no trip hazards. And I'm sitting there pulling a probably a 2.5 inch cable. I mean, a real big son of a bitch pulling it across the stage. And he stretched out, and I had to go right underneath him because that's where the little latch was to get to the trap door so I could lay this cable under the stage. And I'm like, Mr. Ross, sir, I need you to move over about 5 feet for me so I can do this, get this stage set up. And that dude just moved to me, looked at me, and he's like, well, you can go around. I'm busy. So, in
I
my
would have threw it
infinite
over.
wisdom, you know me too well. That's exactly what I did. I took this 2.5 inch cable and I draped it right across his stomach, and I kept on pulling it across the stage without hesitation.
Yeah,
That's what I did.
yeah,
Really pissed him off, but he didn't want to bow up, even though I guess he's supposed to be some karate guy or whatever. Because I guess I didn't look like I was ready for that and wasn't in the mood. But I
yeah.
have a zero tolerance level for this kind of stuff, and I'm not. I have no hesitation to tell somebody to kiss my ass, and that goes for management and whatever. I've had some run-ins with some management before because I am nobody's underling, and nobody is superior to me because of their position, their status, or their wealth.
That's
Period.
right.
So
That's right.
that's the thing. Great Inform dropped me another $2 super chat. Says AOC plays video games with the TV turned off. Yes, sir. I believe that's correct. He dropped me another $2 super chat here. Says big shout out to all my Patriot family in the chat. Shout back, brother. Appreciate you, man. Um, yeah, that helps a lot because I'll make another little confession. I'm actually making something for Pete. Um, I'm still trying to get a little bit of funding together for that so that I can do it. But it's going to be a gift for Pete. He's going to obviously use it for a while, and then maybe the plan will be to auction that at a later date because it goes to a good cause. So somebody's going to end up with it. But I'm still working on gathering the trinkets I need to finish building this thing. Mama B, good to see you. Created finished product, cutting 2 holes in the black sheet and going to Jewel and Walfart a lot. Oh, okay. Hondo, how you doing? All
How you
right, so
doing,
next
Hunter?
subject here. Um, God bless General Flynn and all who have served to protect him and work with him. I am very, very pleased that he has been exonerated. The left is trying to counter that argument at every turn, saying he was guilty of lying and
Yes.
keeping it out of the media. But here's the thing. This is my gripe. The man was entrapped. He was crucified by a corrupt justice system, and he has been run through the coals, very hot coals, for 3 years almost. But yes, he's exonerated, but he is $6 million in the hole
And he will get
because
that
of
back.
exactly.
Yeah.
But there's my gripe. If you or me or anybody else in this chat ended up being attacked by a corrupt justice system, which has been done plenty, the money for me stops at about $3,000. So
Yeah,
after
well,
that, I'm selling aluminum cans and picking up pieces of metal off the street and hoping to collect some change. So if any of us had this same kind of thing happen, we would be already in prison probably in the first week
yes.
because we can't stand up to the corruption and we can't defend ourselves against a conglomerate that has zillions of dollars of money and that can keep you in litigation for this long a period of time and then expect you to be able to survive and stay a free person. Think
Well,
how many people this has happened to in prison already.
you see what's coming out now on the mainstream media. Adam Schiff, Jerry Nadler, and the whole crew that were responsible for the investigation, not the FBI and the corrupt people over there, but the ones who are responsible for the investigation. The 53 interviews that the Nadler and Schiff crew did 53 interviews
Right.
of all these people, including FBI, CIA, DNI, all these associations, all these three-letter associations that were doing the Russia collusion. The reports have already come out. They dropped late last night.
Right.
Not one of the
Over
53
8,000
people,
pages.
not one of the 53 people interviewed said that there was any collusion between the Trump campaign, any of its affiliates, and Russian entities. Now you
Right.
have Adam Schiff, that piece of crap, saying that, well, General Flynn should have been sentenced because he pled guilty.
Right.
Now you're seeing a partisan Justice Department. Bill Barr is partisan, and you're seeing it now. Totally diverting away from the fact that he conducted a bogus investigation.
Right.
This is what we're dealing with
this,
here.
This kind of thing hits very, very close to home for me because it's happened to somebody very, very close to me. I'm not ready to discuss it yet, but I promise you that when you are chosen to be railroaded, you will be railroaded, and there's nothing you can do about it. And in this situation, if General Flynn didn't have the president's ear, if he didn't have this correction being done by the Justice Department with some reasonably decent leaders, do you think the DOJ would ever withdraw charges from anybody that they plan on convicting?
No.
No. So this is a unique circumstance all by itself. And, it just, like I say, God bless him. I'm so glad he is free.
They have the evidence, Alex.
Yes,
the Department of Justice, Bill Barr and his associates with John Durham, they have the evidence against Schiff and Nadler and Waters and all the people who sat on those committees from the day that Trump went down the escalator until the end of the impeachment. They have the evidence. They know what's going on. The problem is, hey, Karma Ghost, how you doing? The problem is that they're not releasing it. They're not releasing this information. I don't want to hear this shit about midsummer. I don't want to hear it. I want it now. I want it now. 3.5, 4 years is long enough. You have the evidence to exonerate Flynn. Put the damn paperwork out for the American people to see it. I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm an American citizen. I'm interested. Don't tell me there's no appetite for this anymore because I'm friggin' hungry. I want to see it.
Sovereign. Northern Tiger, I appreciate you coming, brother. Don't bother trying to get notifications. You have to remember that I try to stick to my schedule on Sunday nights without fail. It's at 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern for Inside Veterans Affairs, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless there's a disaster, I'm on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right after Pete. So the only way to know that I'm on is to just look at my page and be here at 2 o'clock. Prophet's jumped in here too. Appreciate that. Gladys, good to see you. Watched the GOP roundtable earlier. Believe me, the Patriots have the goods on all the traders.
No,
you're right.
No,
but we're still waiting.
You see Jim Jordan, you see Devin Nunes, you see Mark Meadows, you see all these people up there going, we have this and we have that. We don't have shit. We don't have anything. We have what you're telling us that we think we have, which in all, it's nothing. It's ungats. It's nothing. Until I see that in my hand and these people start to get perped walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, stop blowing smoke up my butt. I want to see this stuff. Hi, Debbie.
Hello, Debbie.
Hello. Why do you get me all riled up?
Colleen, how you doing? Because it's more fun that way.
You get me all
riled up. But the thing is, this stuff it's got to come out. And if it comes out hard, then so be it. But the frustration is not, it doesn't stop with you and me. This is a nationwide frustration, and it's reaching a boiling point. And, it moves me into this transition of the next thing I really want to rant about. And this is these contact tracers. Do you people realize what that is? It is, this has all been done before.
Yes, it has.
This is repeating history. You do not have to talk to anybody. You do not have to open your door. And you do not have to surrender a family member to an authority because they say they need to move them out of your house for their safety.
They rescinded
Ladies and
that, right?
gentlemen, I had not heard that yet, but
Yes.
okay, good. Because I mean to tell you, when we were young and broke and raising my two children, we had children in family services. Yeah, we had them threatening to take our kids because we were broke, and neither time did it go well. I guarantee you it ain't gonna happen.
What? So you just want to take away my First Amendment, my Second Amendment, my Fourth Amendment, maybe my 15th Amendment? You just want to just take all those things and just hold on. Let's just call you the De Blasio crew, because you
Right.
call me
Let's
back.
go ahead and just
You can just
redact
take my
that.
rights away.
Yep.
Willy
We'll black
nilly.
marker this out. Yeah. Well,
You better call somebody. People are going to start getting shot here pretty quick. I hate to say it.
Well, I need to educate you on something here, though. This is important for the future. Just to help you out. It's not De Blasio, okay? It's De Blasio because you have to let that crap out. Yes, exactly. You got it. Effie, thank you very much for the super chat.
Hi, Effie.
And
yes, Mama
welcome,
B,
I
got it. I got it wrong. I'm sorry. I will calm down. Take it easy.
Right. Yeah, enough.
You know what? When these people are going to say, you know what? This guy got a cold, right? I saw him sneezing when he went into his house. What are they going to do? Are they going to send the Gestapo COVID unit over to my door? Excuse me, are you sneezing? Is that you I heard sneezing? And what are they going to do? Break into my house and put me in handcuffs and take me off to where? The FEMA Walmart camps?
Yeah, but my question is, how do they even get started doing this crap? Because somebody has to say, you know what would be a really good idea? Somebody has to start with that statement. And then you have to hear the people that are going, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. What the hell is this world coming to if you can have people in a room that agree with stuff like that?
You got to think, Bill de Blasio has handlers, right? He has people who tell him what to say at his press conferences. You see those people, they're not like us. We do our own research. We print it out. We put it up on the computer screens, whatever. No, he has people do this for him. And these people are saying, hey, you know what? When Bill goes out today into the press conference, give him that paper that I wrote about just wiping out everybody's First Amendment to protest. That'll go over good. Just let him read it.
Like a turd in a punch bowl.
And this dumbass goes out and says, yes, protesting is going to be a banned in New York City. Does he not read what
Do you know what that tells me? That tells me, go get your shit, son. We're going out on a protest.
No doubt.
I mean,
how big of a sign
I'd
can
be
I
breaking out the Sharpie and building my sign and getting my wood and stapling it on there and be trotting out that front door. I mean,
Mama B says 2.5 million homeless. Where's all the yeah, I know what you're talking about. What's happening? I can tell you what's happening here in LA is that they're running out of the vouchers, and we're seeing more and more of them come back on the streets.
Right.
I can tell you that right now because I'm seeing those little places for the last month or so that were empty with a couple of 3-4 tents back in them. And those are the places where I go out and give those bags to those people. I'll put 3, 4, 5, 6 of them down and they'll be gone the next day. So I know that they're there. So they're letting them out back on the streets out of these abandoned hotels and stuff that they were living in, Mama B. That's what's happening.
Yeah, Ida Shoemaker was talking just now about the dragging people out of the house. Pete said they rescinded that, which is probably the smartest thing they can do. The thing is, this is what's going on. They're scooping up a big pile of horse shit and they're throwing it at you to see what is going to draw a reaction from you. This is called beta testing. Margot, thank you very, very much for the $2 super chat. Beta tests are done all the time because the way that you take the power from the people, the way you get people to submit is in tiny little increments. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they take the whole scoop of horse shit and they throw it at you. And then people go, oh, hell no. And then they go ahead and they wipe some of the horse shit off of you because you may not accept the whole thing, but we'll go ahead and withdraw that. And then we'll just do a little bit. And then, everybody gets happy with that little bit. And then a little while later, here comes the whole scoop of horse shit again. And then people say, no. And then they go ahead and wipe some of it back off of you and they back off a little bit. But what you're not realizing is you're still having the horse shit piled up on you. It's just being done in half doses. So people have got to stop. You have got to quit letting them dump the whole scoop on you and then make sure you get it all off because they're taking a little bit at a time. But
and you know what? There was a story. There was just a story that had come out. I think it was this morning. I heard it that there was a lady in a store who shot 2 of the people. Shot one in the arm and one in the shoulder because it had something to do with sitting in and dining in the restaurant. That it wasn't allowed, even though that the city had opened up all their stuff. These people are not taking to this stuff kindly, where now they're starting to go around shooting people.
Right.
And if they keep, like you're saying, keep piling it on, people are going to start losing it. They're going to start losing it. And they're going to say, oh, my God, this is the reason why we should have confiscated all the firearms.
Exactly.
They're just they're not getting the whole picture here. And it's a little bit frustrating. But go ahead. Same way. This is from Effie Loves America. She says the same way you dealt with turning down the TV when mom said it was too loud, turn it up louder, say oops, and then turn it down to about the same volume it was before. You got it. Not that I ever did that. I find that hard to believe.
Teenage psychology. And I think I got my D-Live up. Look at that. I just did something kind of neat. See, I told you I fumble around on these things until I accidentally do something correct. That's the only way I learn my computer stuff. Preacher with a $10 super chat. God bless you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Because he can hear too.
Yeah, you're awesome. All right. Already got DM and Propus over here on D-Live. Thank you all. I got it.
Are you on D-Live?
I guess I just got it up. I mean, I didn't just get it up, but you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. All right. So we got Great Informer dropping another $5 bomb on me. It's the armed militia in Michigan got the politicians' attention, and now they go to work in the bulletproof vests. This could become a growing trend. Yeah, the other thing is they just put legislation forward to restrict people from carrying firearms into the Capitol. And that's when everybody needs to carry firearms into the Capitol. I mean, at some point, you got to say, you know what? We're just done listening to you. Here's the dealio. You're going to start listening to us. I mean, they pass a
How
law, the
about this?
law-abiding
It's our house,
citizens
not
go,
yours.
oh, I'm sorry. This is what they depend on. They depend on you and me being law-abiding citizens because we don't want to get in trouble. We want to be good citizens. And, you know, I can't wait till the word
Yeah,
citizen gets banned because we are sovereigns. But anyway,
people have to remember
when they do
that
this
the
stuff,
state house, government houses, all these houses where the elected legislatures sit, including the White House, are the people's houses, not theirs. They don't dictate what we do. We dictate what they
right?
do.
Oh, thank you for the ice cream, Colino. And Pete the Patriot just dropped the lemon on me. Imagine that. And Prophet, another lemon. Thank you, thank you. 2 lemons from Prophet, 3 lemons from Prophet, 1 from Pepper 1919. Appreciate y'all. All right. See, I got my D Live up. Isn't that cool? All right. Here's another one.
Cool.
I'm gonna throw this one in there, and maybe it'll sink, maybe it'll swim. Just recently came out that the doctor, I mean, is he a Dr. Fauci? I don't know. Did he earn that title? Anyway, Fauci and Birx have been found to have used a scientific document on using fraudulent science to dictate to the president their requirements for closing down the whole world, basically, the country. Uh, this is insanity. They used fraudulent information to tell a president to cut down and close the strongest economy this country has ever seen. And again, these are 2 people that are just allowed to keep flapping their yap. They're allowed to keep doing their thing because their handlers have their back. And Northern Tiger, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. 25 minutes to get D Live notifications. Yeah, Margot, I just got it turned on. It wasn't cranking up, so I had to go into my settings and reset it. I couldn't believe I did that while I was live on air too. I figured I was going to dump Pete out of here, but we made it. But anyway, so what do you think about this? What they are getting away with is astonishing to me.
All right, you ready for this?
Oh man, I'm ready. Throw it.
Yesterday, I was watching Tony Patriot's 3-hour thing there, and he played a video of the lady who was just let out of jail.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead. Fire it up. Do it. Nurse
Well,
Trace,
you can
thank
get
you for
into
the
that. I just want to
$10
make one statement about what she said, and now what I think that what would happen if I actually saw this guy in person would be thank God he's one of those rich and famous people that would never cross my path because he's lucky for this. But when she came out on that video and said that she had the documentation that in the early 90s that him and somebody else were actually holding the cure for HIV/AIDS from the FDA because there was no money in the cure.
Exactly.
I turned off Tony
and then
Patriot's
he had her put in jail.
I turned off Tony Patriot's stream because I didn't want to hear any more of that. It upset me beyond belief. Knowing that little turd piece of shit was responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of people because he did not want to hand the cure over to the Federal Drug Administration for distribution because there was no money in it and she had documents to back it up.
Right.
Couldn't watch it after that, Alex.
Yeah.
Because it hit way.
Well, you know, he had her destroyed.
He had her destroyed.
She had her medical license. She had her medical license revoked, and she was put in jail for getting ready to contradict his findings in public. So he had her destroyed. And again, these people are allowed to walk free. And here's an example of the contrast to what we're seeing right here. I live. Basically, I'm surrounded by 4 military bases and 2 state and 1 federal prison we are really surrounded here. And
Yeah.
I ran into a guy. It's like, oh, I don't know. It was 11:30. We went down. We were going down the road, and I saw a guy standing in the parking lot of our local Dollar General that had been closed for almost an hour. And I guess I tend to do security of some kind, but I went over there because I was going to ask what the hell over. And the dude's just standing there. I'm like, everything all right? He goes, yeah, I was just released from the prison over here, and I'm waiting on a ride. And I said, released from the prison? I said, they didn't make arrangements for a ride for you or anything? And he goes, no. So I asked, I said, what were you in the house for? He says, I was in there for a $2 bridge toll. This dude spent 31 days in jail because he forgot to pay a $2 bridge toll. And when he was taken before the judge under the warrant for the bridge toll, he didn't have the $5,000 bond to pay so that he could go out until a court date could be determined. So he spent 31 days in jail, in prison, not the county jail. He went to the prison for 31 days for a $2 bridge toll because he couldn't afford his bail money.
What gives
This
people the
is the
authority to do
contrast.
this?
Well, in the Constitution, it says you shall not be subject to what do they call it? I can't remember the words exactly. It's killing me, but you can't be hit with unnecessary fines or exorbitant amounts of money. In the Constitution, it
You know what,
says
Alex?
that you're protected from excessive fines.
You really need one of these constitutions, the collector constitutions that I'm having for a raffle. You really need to
quit
get
rubbing it in, damn it.
Yeah. Too bad you can't. You buy the raffle tickets for them, but we should work on that. We'll talk about that maybe. I don't know.
I got my little one in front of me, but I mean, there's so much information there. It's hard to remember word for word verbatim when you're trying to get it. But you got to sometimes paraphrase, and give the roundabout. Anyway, you get the point across. It's that we are not supposed to be subject to excessive fines, and every time you turn around, you hear about excessive fines. A $5,000 bond for a $2 bridge toll that was 90 days late is basically what it is. So this is the contrast of what we're facing.
I don't know where these judges, supposed judges, or people get the authority to impose sentencing for that. Or
under the color of law, 18 USC 242.
Or to put somebody in jail for cutting hair. I don't understand.
There we go. That's a good transition.
Still practicing law. They should be impeached.
Well, guess who the
whatever.
Guess who the judge was that tried to get her to apologize for doing this to the people of her community? What a dick. Man, I am so glad I was not in that courtroom because I would have been put under the prison.
I told that to Mrs. PTP yesterday while we were driving. I said, that lady was the most poised person I've ever seen in my life. Because if I was up there and that judge told me that I needed to apologize and I was selfish for opening my business to feed my kids, I would have said, Judge, listen, you don't have to worry about sentencing me to jail for opening up my salon. You can sentence me to jail for contempt of court 7 days because you know what? Go F yourself. Your fat ass is sitting up at that bench getting a friggin' paycheck every week, regardless whether it's COVID-19 or not. And you're telling me that I'm selfish for trying to feed my kids? Go F yourself.
Right.
Now you can put me in jail for 7 days for contempt of court. You piece of shit.
Right.
That's what I would have said to the guy.
Yes. Probably would have gotten 14, but you know what? Sometimes things are just worth it.
Whatever.
But here's the thing. Right after he did his little sentencing and that thing ended up on TV and all that, guess what turned up? A picture of he and old bummer
his arm around
mooching it up an arm around him and stuff. Yeah. When are we going to get rid of these unconstitutional judges and
Well,
these criminals that sit behind the bench? They create law from behind the bench. They
yeah.
come up with these strange and unusual statutes that have no premise in law.
Well, this is what the Trump administration is doing, and this is why the Democrats want him out of office so badly. Not
Yeah.
because he's a outstanding president, not because he's the brain trust to run this country. No, none of that. He's appointing lifetime judges to the benches across all circuits. He's appointed two
And why
Supreme Court justices.
Why can he appoint a judge, but he can't fire a judge? That's a serious problem in our system also.
Yes, once you appoint the judge, say for a lifetime appointment, that's what it is. It's a lifetime appointment. But this judge you're talking about in particular happens to be one who was voted in. He wasn't an appointee of Obama, from what I read. He actually gets voted in.
Why can't you arrest him?
Years. He sits on a
Why
different
can't they be arrested for breaking the law?
They should,
because it's it's written in their own laws that they create in the House and the Senate. They create the laws. The judges are supposed to enact the law. And like I said, 18 USC 242, under the color of law, you cannot restrict the freedoms of people, no matter if you're a judge, a cop, or anybody else. If you are using your power with a badge, with a robe, whatever, to restrict somebody's freedoms, it's against the law that they wrote. But they don't hold their own laws.
No, and, they make them up as they go along. We got to jump.
Right. Thank you. We got to jump back over to de Blasio real quick. Or excuse me, I said it wrong. De Blasio. Because a statement after he said that there will not be any protests are now illegal. What was his police commissioner jumped in there and said it's up to us to uphold the laws that are created by our governor.
So he just created that law?
Asshole. What?
He just said, okay, we're going to take that part of the First Amendment and we're going to cut that out and we're going to put that into law. No protesting. Everybody on board? Yes. Let's go sit in front of 400 million people on TV and tell everybody that we're taking your First Amendment away. Let's go.
Yeah, but that's not even the most significant part of what he said. We are going to obey the laws that are created by our governor.
Our governor don't make the law.
By our governor. This is why everything is so upside down right now. People don't have a clue how our government works.
No.
So people that are sitting there listening to this police commissioner going, yeah, you need to obey the laws of the governor. The governor can do an executive order. The governor. He can do an executive order, but guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's an edict.
Yes.
That is an order. That is not a law. You can ignore a executive order. You can ignore it because it's not law. It has not gone through the process. It has not gone through the House to be written. It hasn't gone through committee to be evaluated. It hasn't gone to the Senate for their approval and restructure potentially. And it sure as hell has not gone across the governor's desk for a signature. It is not law. So as soon as people can start understanding this stuff, it'll be so much easier for people to stand up and say, nope, thank you. Come again. We're done. Nope. Anyway, that one blew my mind. I hear this stuff so much, and it's just like I can't believe nobody's head is ringing when they hear stuff like that.
No, because they're not taught that in school. They're not taught this stuff. I just want to say one thing, preacher.
And even
thank you. They're not taught this. We have to, as parents, or as I don't know what. We have to let these people know, these children know, that this is how the world works, not what they're teaching you. Otherwise, you get what we have right now. You get stupid ass sheriffs that are saying we're going to uphold the laws that the governor wants us to uphold. And that sheriff should know what the First Amendment of the Constitution is. That's embarrassing for him to open up his Bible and say that.
Right. I just want to wave a hand real quick, and Mark B joined me over here on D-Li. I appreciate that. Thank you for the ice cream. Thank you for the ice cream, Pete. Appreciate you. Just necessary enacted in 9/11. None of this crap is legal. It was never enacted, Mama B. It was supposed to be enacted at 10 a.m. and they managed to get the destruction done at 9:48. I think that was when the total collapse and meltdown happened. So they managed to avoid it, but it's coming. We're setting it up right now. We've already done step 1 and step 2. As if it isn't bad enough, Asian giant hornets. Yeah, murder hornets. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Socialist dictators, like, let's turn it up a notch, send into murder hornets. Right. Yeah.
Well, the COVID-19, the Chinese said that the COVID-19 didn't kill enough Americans. Okay, we didn't kill enough Americans. Hey, yo, go get those the big bees. The big bees, send them over there. Send them over to the United States. We'll kill more people with the big
Package them up.
Package them up. Put them in a bucket.
Here's the interesting thing about these murder hornets that everybody's so afraid of. Those murder hornets don't come after people. So that's not a problem. But here's what the big problem is, folks. They are going to kill us indirectly because they go after bee colonies. They will kill off an entire honeybee colony
in a very short time. This planet cannot survive without honeybees. That would kill us all.
That is how the murder wasp or murder hornet is a serious threat to us, because the Asian bees that are familiar with dealing with these hornets have developed battle plans, and you can look up videos on this, how they defend against the murder hornets. But our honeybees over here are just about as docile as most of the people that are going along with all these socialist dictates. They are not prepared to take on an enemy like that. No, so they can go through one of our bee colonies. They can kill off every living bee in a very short period of time. So that's where they're a sincere threat to this country. We're already having our land turned under with produce that's not been picked. We're having our meat markets shut down because, the sniffles. And now we are going to potentially have a serious threat to our honeybee population, more so than the chemicals from Monsanto. And, everything they're doing to us is ticking away at our survivability. So, yes, sir, you have a hand up in the back there.
Yeah, sir. How long before the locust and the frogs come? I'm just curious.
Oh, I love frogs.
I love frogs too.
But the locusts, they've already been here.
Yeah, but they got to come
back.
Not here. They're in Africa right now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how long before they come to the United States and they start eating all the crops. Do we have an estimated?
Yeah, well, there are no. The good news about that is we have no crops for them to eat, so we shouldn't worry about that. That's something we don't even need to worry about. As far as the frogs go, I think they're all down here in Florida with us, because at night when we have our outdoor lights on, we get our whole windows covered with tree frogs that are collecting up the bugs for us. Yeah. So yeah, I think they're all down here just waiting for their call.
I have to look up real quick to see what's going to happen next. Give me a second.
Yeah, somebody is using that as a script. I mean, that's really what's happening.
I gotta see what's happening next. We got killer bees. I'm sure that in the back of the book here, there's this one thing. It's almost like a guidebook to what's happening, and I know that somewhere in here it says locusts. because I saw a guy riding around on a horse the other day in a city.
Was it black or white or red?
No, it was a brown horse, but I mean, I'm sure that's in this book somewhere. He was carrying a stick. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? This is what it feels like. It feels like we're reading this book right here in some kind of twisted version. These people are using it to their advantage.
Yeah, like they're using it like a script.
Like a script.
The problem is so much of this stuff is not natural. And just like these murder hornets, they seem to be suspiciously enhanced. And there are places in this country where they're doing experiments on viruses and on insects and all kinds of stuff. They create things for their military application. And then when they find out, you know, this would work for, let's take out the population over here a little bit. Let's go ahead and release that AIDS in Africa and see if we can't get rid of some of these useless eaters over here with that.
Yeah.
So this is all being done by man. And you have to think that at some point, God's going to get pretty pissed. And he's going to step in and say, oh, yeah, let me show you how this is really supposed to be done. So when that time comes, it's going to get rough. But, you know, keep the faith, stay strong in the Lord, and you should be fine.
That's right. I want to say goodbye to Preacher. Thank you for coming over. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you sent. I appreciate that, too. And thank your sister again.
Much love and respect. We'll talk to you later.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Effie says, that's it. I'm officially going download my consciousness onto a hologram this month. Nice knowing you. All right. 7 dimensions. You have to watch my video so you can get familiar with how that works. Yeah, they're 7-dimensional deep fakes. But anyway, so it's 9:51. We haven't made it quite to 2:00, but I'm exhausted. And I really just, unless you have something else that's really ticked you off, I think we could probably call this an early one.
I think we're good, man.
I'll tell you what, so much going on, so much hate, so much aggression towards the people. Hello, C.
It is. I got no problem with you
my butt. Yeah, that's the last thing, though. The global warming has officially failed because they're looking throughout the Midwest to break cold weather temperatures in the next couple of days with a cyclone. So, you know, that's good news. We've corrected global warming, so we can end the show with some really good news. But as always, Pete, thank you, my brother, for coming over here because, man, it helps to get some of this stuff off our chest.
Yes, it does.
Everybody else who joined us for this 50-minute rant, I appreciate and love you guys. We'll do this again Monday, but come join me on Sunday night, Inside Veterans Affairs, 7:00 Eastern. Obviously, go join Pete at any opportunity you can. He's on all the time, every time, anytime.
All the time.
Just the whole time. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. Thank you to my mods. Appreciate for all the super chats and all the ice creams and all the fruit and vegetables over there on D Live. God bless you all and stay in the fight.